Flat Roof 2 is offering wide scale of flexibility and adaptability. In practice, it means that we can extend the spacing among the modules. We can also omit one of the modules out of the module field. We can also plan and install closed modules with east-west orientation and several more. So just follow me and I will demonstrate each out of these features. The module field is equipped by the most common clamps, and thus clamps for short side clamping, where we are clamping the modules in their corners. But what could happen if we have quite narrow space requirements? Here we can observe that we could afford to sink the rail under the module, and basically we are clamping the modules on their long sides by clamps for long side clamping, and the frame of the module is in one line as the edge of the rails themselves. So in case of some obstacle in this area, we can afford to hide the rails like that under the modules. Obstacles such as a chimney, air conditioning, elevated shafts are nothing very extraordinary for flat roofs and the roofs in general. If we would have any obstacle, in our case a chimney, in the middle of the module field, Novotegra has a solution in terms of wind deflector east-west. So basically we can omit one of the module out of the module field, so we can still respect one module orientation, but second one is going to be replaced by wind deflector east-west. The spare ballast is going to be placed directly onto the wind deflector, as we have in our particular case, and we are just afterwards following and respecting layout as Solar Planet proposed us. As a next, Novotegra Flat Roof 2 mounting system is offering combining pure east-west orientation with closed module south. For such an application, we have module support south and wind deflector south. In this specific case, our modules are facing onto east, and as follows, we are starting with east-west orientation. If we would require it, we can respect the same layout also on the opposite side of the module field, for example with modules facing onto west with wind deflector south and module supporter south as well. This mounting solution is also plannable in Solar Planet. We just need to pay attention about expansion joints, because only like that we can attach pure east-west and closed modules. But in fact, you cannot install expansion joints always, only in case you exceed 17 meters. Novotegra Flat Roof 2 is also offering an option installing the modules in such a cascade shape or cascade layout. It means that in this particular case, if you would have an obstacle here, ordinary with the rest of the mounting systems, you have to omit the entire length of the module and start in the same line with the frame. But here, in this specific case, we could afford to use just a half of the length of the module, and we are starting here on the half of the first module row. For such an application, it's necessary to plan third support rail, obviously, and in Solar Planet also do not forget about expansion joint. Only like that, this option is plannable, and you can get a proper ballasting report out of the Solar Planet. Again, if you will not exceed 17 meters in the module field length, you cannot to install these expansion joints, because they don't have any valuable purpose. Spacing among the module rows could be also adapted according to our real situation we are fighting with on a roof. If we would have some kind of an obstacle, in our case, let us say again a chimney, we can adapt the spacing among the module rows. So here in this case we went 55 centimeters and click in the base foot on one side and base foot on the second side. With adjacent field we already have here, we can observe that the spacing is much closer, because we just wanted to respect service acer. In this case it is 40 centimeters. So we couldn't need such a longer spacing, and we went just 40 centimeters, so an acer is a bit more narrow than on this adjacent field number 1.